and Cameroon played out a 1-all draw. In 1968, December 7, Nigeria and Cameroon again played out a 1-all draw. This was in the World Cup qualifier. Then in 1968, December 22, Nigeria beat Cameroon 3-2 in the World Cup qualifier. Then 1975, Nigeria won an international friendly 1-0 against Cameroon. In 1978, it was a goalless draw at the African Games. Then in 1980, an international friendly, this was a goalless draw. Then the first time, as we mentioned in the morning, that Nigeria would lose to Cameroon was the most important match in Nigeria's history until, the second most important, because the most important was in 1980 when we won the Africa Cup of Nations. So we lost this one, the final of the Africa Cup of Nations in 1984, losing that match 3-1. Then the next time we will meet was at the Africa Cup of Nations again in 1988. In the group stages, we played out a 1-0 draw. Remember that goal that the late Samuel Okwaraji scored against Thomas Nkono. So that match ended 1-1 because they got Roger Miller got the equalizer in that encounter. Then the next time we meet them was a loss in the final of the 1988 Africa Cup of Nations. They beat us 1-0, a penalty which they converted. And then in 1989 we defeated them 2-0 in the World Cup qualifier. But in the reverse fixture, the one that was the most important, they beat us 1-0 to qualify for Italia 90. And then after that, we defeated them 2-1 in the Africa Cup of Nations. This was the third place match at Senegal 92. Rashid Ekini getting the winning goal, and that made him highest goal scorer in that competition. Then we beat them again 1-0 in the LG Cup in 1997. And then another Africa Cup of Nations final, Ghana-Nigeria 2000, 2-2, but Cameroon won, I think it was 4-3 on penalties. Then at the another LG Cup in 2003, we walloped them 3-0. And then on the 8th of February 2004, we beat them 2-1 in the Africa Cup of Nations. Austin Jeje Okocha and John Utaka getting the goals. And on the 15th of October on the 11th of October 2015, we beat them 3-0 in an international friendly. And then on the 1st of September 2017, we defeated them 4-0 in Russia 2018 World Cup qualifier. And then in the reverse fixture, we played out a 1-all draw on the 4th of September 2017. And then the last time we met was on the 6th of July 2019 at the Africa Cup of Nations. We defeated them 3-2. So that's the head-to-head between Nigeria and Cameroon. Nigeria 12 wins, Cameroon 4 wins, 7 matches have been drawn.
Well, it's pretty very much more like if you look at the head-to-head now, you'd think that Cameroon, of course, were not just there during those matches that we beat them, silly. But then there's this very huge rivalry, like we always said on this show, between Nigeria and, of course, Cameroon. The head coach of the Cameroonian national team has come out to say, yes, this one is a friendly match, no doubt about that. Antonio Conceição is, of course, looking at the fact that even though it's a friendly, we want to, go there and, of course, make a statement. We have dealt with Cameroon more times than they have, of course, dealt with us. But then, that's very one, the Cameroonian head coach is, looking at more like unleashing the likes of Maxime Choupo-Moting and, of course, Akal Toko Ekambi. Toko Ekambi used to be the teammate of Samuel Chukwueze at Villarreal before he moved to Olympique Lyon right there in France. And, of course, in the last 3 matches between Cameroon and Nigeria, we've beaten them, twice, and, of course, have drawn once. So in the last 3, they've not beaten us. So they would, of course, be looking at, usurping us in this very one. Hopefully by 7:30 p.m. we should see that, happen. Well, Cameroon, of course, we know Nigeria will have just 3 AFCON titles. They've got 5. They are our older brothers in terms of that very category. But then over 90 minutes, anything can, of course, happen. We're only hoping that in this very game, we do not, of course, get to become too, excited or overly excited, considering that we've beaten Cameroon many times, especially recently. I shouldn't, of course, get into our heads, and we now feel like we have a right, to go to that very beach in Austria and expect the usual thing, which is, of course, a walkover over Cameroon. So let's see how Coach Ganacho will, of course, approach this very game. We're hoping that he has got the mindset that this one is not just a friendly, but then a match that has got to be won. And of course, he needs to try a couple of new things, try a couple of new players. The idea of inviting new players is to ensure that they get quality game time. At least I don't think there's a law that limits the number of substitutions he's allowed to make. So we should expect players to get at least 35, 40 or 45 minutes in this very matchup. The good news is that it's over 2 legs. So if you don't play in the first one, which is today, you have a chance of playing maybe 45 minutes or 90 minutes on Tuesday. So let's see how it gets to happen. It's very much going to be an interesting game. I would just hope it remains like that.
Despite the withdrawals, I think the Cameroonians might be looking at a way of trying to beat this current team at the camp. But Ibrahim, looking at the 21 players in camp, I know if you were to be in the shoes of Ganacho, who would you pick as your first 11, considering the players in camp right now? Just put aside their experience or the number of years they spent in the Eagles, but on present form, who are you likely to pick if you were to be in Ganacho's shoes?
Well, I don't think I'll have the time to be given the full 11, but much as it is an international friendly, there is also pride at stake. So I will want to start with my very best 11. I will think that up front we should have Paul Onuachu and Kelechi Iheanacho starting. I would think that in the midfield, Wilfred Ndidi, there's no brainer, he has to start. Ogonekare Tebo is our very powerful box-to-box midfielder, so he has to start. The most experienced player should be there. William Troost Ekong. I expect that he's going to lead the team out as captain today. And well, I maybe would have preferred Francis Uzoho, but because of his long time injury layout and all of that, and the manager has told us now that Maduka Okoye is his number one. This last couple of games, I think he kept clean sheets, apart from that one that we considered 4 goals against Syria alone. So maybe I expect that he will want to start with his strongest 11. But I also will want to see some of the players that he brought in. I mean, Terem Murphy, it will be good to see him start. We know that Kelechi Iheanacho, I think, basically will make the team. So maybe after playing Kelechi and Paul for the first 45 minutes, perhaps in the second 45, we should see Terem Murphy and see a bit of the other guys to really see what they can do.
All right, before going on our first break, let's quickly talk about Nigerian wrestlers going to the Olympics. They've told us right now that Nigerian wrestlers will travel to Poland for the Poland Open Ranking Series in preparation for the 2020 Olympic Games. And remember, 4 Nigerian female wrestlers, Odunayo Adekuroye, Blessing Oborodudu, Aminat Adeniyi, and youngster Adijat Idris have already qualified for the games. And from their training camp in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, the team coach Purity Ako said they would use the Poland tournament to wrap up their preparations before they head to Tokyo for the games. And quoting him now, he said, "We are preparing for the Poland ranking series, which starts on June 8 and ends June 13. We are in Yenagoa for 3 weeks. We are in the final phase now before we travel to Poland. It will be a test for us, especially in the technical angle, for us to see what is remaining and what we need to do before flying down to Tokyo. It's a very good tournament for us. Our athletes are in good shape. They are ready, and we are hoping and praying that by God's grace, they will do well in the competition." Yes, this is the time for us to achieve our goal. I know we are going to be on the podium. I'm very optimistic. And when you look at the caliber of these wrestlers, we know how far they've dominated Africa when it comes to wrestling, but we want them to also take it to the world stage, and that is what they are promising us right now, that they are sure of making it to the podium.
Absolutely, we expect them to do that. When you have 4 of the best female Nigerian wrestlers on board, Odunayo Adekuroye, Blessing Oborodudu, Aminat Adeniyi, and of course, the youngs that are talking about Adijat Idris. This very championship, it's of course going to ensure that they get to put themselves in the right frame of mind, in the right shape to go to the Olympics and hopefully get 1 or 2 medals for us. At the Olympics, it's a world stage. Like you rightly said, these ladies have been able to, of course, put a name to themselves in terms of performing well at the African scene. But then in the world, we've not been right there. But then we want to, of course, go to the Olympics to make a statement. It's good. Purity Akko, the coach of this very ladies, is talking tough. He's, of course, in a high spirit at this point in time, going into this very series in Poland. It's a preparatory tournament for the ladies, and we hope that with this, tournament, these ladies just go to Tokyo and, of course, get us a medal. He has said, Purity Akko said, I don't want to mention the kind of medals we'll win, but then he's optimistic that with the level of preparations they've had so far, at least in the last 3 weeks, they've been training heavily for that very one in Poland. And then in the next 1 or 2 months, we should expect them to hit, Japan and make Nigeria proud. Well, for me, I am hopeful we're going to get a medal or two from the wrestling team, whether from the male side or probably from the female side, but I'm very sure that we should get a medal or two.
I'll be disappointed if we do not win medals. Not a medal. I'll be disappointed if we do not win medals in wrestling at the Olympic Games. I know it's difficult and all that, but come on. Especially the ladies. Odunayo Adekunle. I mean, I will even not 100% stick out my head, but I am kind of hoping that she will bring home the gold. She's good enough. She's consistently one of the best wrestlers in the world. Blessing Obododudu has been a veteran, has been there, has seen it all. The president of the federation, Daniel Igali, is somebody that has won the gold medal. He has been a coach. He's now in administration. So, look, they've got everything. I think wrestling, the Nigerian Wrestling Federation, is one of the best administered federations, sports federations that we have in the country. And when you complain about exposure for some athletes, wrestling don't have that problem. Our wrestlers are well exposed. Yeah. So the people that they will be meeting at the Olympics are probably some wrestlers that they've encountered before. So honestly, I will be disappointed if we do not win any medal. And I am kind of hoping that Adekunle will get us a gold in wrestling.
All right, let's go on our first break. When we return, we'll be going to Stamford Bridge and to tell you what is going on right now as far as the head coach, Thomas Tuchel, is concerned. Don't touch the dial. We'll be right back.
Oh yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
The place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting because all the shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. I wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, it's Sports Fiesta, and it is reaching you live on a 2.7 KUFM down here in Benin City. We told you we are counting down to the big match between Nigeria and Cameroon later in Austria, and also the preparations for the wrestlers who are going to Tokyo Olympics, how far they are going. So right now, let's talk about somebody who came on board in January, and by the end of May, he's already a Champions League winner. I've spent a couple of months with Chelsea. And earlier today, this has been in the pipeline, but it has been confirmed right now that Thomas Tuchel has signed a contract extension until the summer of 2024. Remember, he signed an initial 18-month contract when he replaced Frank Lampard as the Blues boss in January. And look at what he has done for the club. It led them to victory in the Champions League final and a 4th place finish in the Premier League. So he's got the contract extension today. This is something that it's really, really good. Yes, we saw this with Roberto Di Matteo when he also stepped in. It was halfway to the season, and at the end of the day, he ended up, I don't know, could this be his style for Chelsea that whenever they hire the manager midway, at the end of the day, they've got the crown champions of the Champions League?
Well, they say at Chelsea that their sacking policy has been able to help them over the years. Anytime they sack a manager, bring a new one, he's either winning something or of course finishing in the league in an appreciable position. For Thomas Tuchel, is of course one man who is a record maker. He's the first manager to reach back-to-back Champions League finals with different clubs. You talk about him, he seems to be the man who of course understands what he wants from his players and how he goes about doing it in a very playful manner. He does of course send out the message to the players and allows them to go there on the pitch of play and of course express themselves. He doesn't try to be too rigid or too hard on his players, but he knows how to get the best out of his players. Usually they say that in the Pigeon Palace that when somebody does well, you can tell them, say well done. At this point in time, Thomas Tuchel in the last 6 months at Chelsea has done pretty very well. He has of course taken the club to the next level. Remember when he came on at Chelsea in the Premier League, we were 9th on the log, and right now they of course finishing in the Champions League places, and hopefully next season they would of course be there to play in the Champions League. They've won the Champions League. They were in the final of the FA Cup. Sadly, they lost to Leicester City. So with these achievements here and there, you really expect the club, Chelsea, to give him a corner extension. When he came on, they gave me an 18 months deal, and right now they are feeling like there's this feeling that if we don't give him a corner extension, by the end of next season, there'll be other clubs queuing up for his signature. So they need to tie him down to a long-term deal, and they've given him a 2-year extension, which will of course expire in 2024. So let's see what will happen. Well, a lot of persons are saying, okay, you know how it is at Chelsea. When you do well your first season, the next season halfway, you're of course going to be sacked and there. But we don't know. We just hope it's not the case for Thomas Tuchel. But then he's one man, like I said, who understands what it takes to be a manager at a club like Chelsea. Chelsea, make no mistake about it, it's like a political party. It's like a political club. You've got to satisfy a lot of people. You've got to satisfy the board members. You've got to satisfy especially the senior players in the squad, because these guys are the ones who, of course, they hold the aces in the football club. So you've got to satisfy a lot of people, including the club owner as well, by winning trophies. So you see how it is. So let's see. He's understanding the terrain pretty very much well, and he's doing well at this point in time for himself.
I think in Chelsea you only have to satisfy one person. That's Roman Abramovich. Seriously, I think it's the only one that you've got to satisfy. Because if he says you stay, there's nothing anybody can do. Yeah. You stay, and if he says you have to go, well, there's nothing that anybody can do. He's going to pull the trigger. Look, of course, it's an absolutely no-brainer situation. There is no way they will not have extended the contract of Thomas Tuchel. I mean, they will be. It will be a very foolish thing to do to let him go. Somebody else, even if he didn't win the Champions League, with the improvement that we saw under Chelsea, I mean, it was a no-brainer that they were going to give him a contract extension. I think the situation is different from Roberto Di Matteo. Roberto Di Matteo, remember, wasn't even the first-team coach. It was the young man, Andres Villas-Boas, who was the manager of the team. Roberto Di Matteo was an assistant. Yeah, he came from another club where he was the head coach to be an assistant to AVB. Yeah, but after AVB was fired and he was brought in, we saw how he went about it, won the FA Cup and won the Champions League. But even then, people felt he isn't there just yet. He didn't really have it. And we saw what happened. He failed to go beyond the first round of the UEFA Champions League, crashed into the Europa League, and with some of the things that happened, the way they were playing in the league, he was fired. So you just had that feeling that it was never really going to work out. Frank Lampard, club legend, came in, and yeah, you felt after that first year, you felt okay, Frank Lampard also deserved a long-time contract and all of that. But unfortunately for him, honestly, I was a bit surprised that Frank Lampard was fired, but I wasn't given the results that we started seeing, because they started. So at one point, Chelsea, was it 15 or 16, or even They were about 15 matches unbeaten. Yeah, and they were beginning to talk about, you know, they wanted to be a team that everybody will be scared to play and all that, and suddenly things started happening. We're beginning to hear now his management style wasn't very good. Every manager has that at one point. Even with Thomas Tuchel, right now there are players in Chelsea that are not particularly happy. Of course,
that's very good.
Yeah, somebody like Hakim Ziyech now, we are hearing tales that maybe he might be leaving. There are some other players. When he first came, Callum Hudson-Odoi was one of his favorites, but now he's left. Remember what he did to Callum? He brought him on as a substitute and substituted him. That's one of the most disgraceful things that can happen to you as a player. You are a substitute and then you end up being substituted. But fair play to him. I think the next match he played him again. You know, but since then he has not really been playing him. Tammy Abraham, he gave him a couple of opportunities, but then he dropped him. But people will also say, how about Timo Werner? I mean, I know his work rate and everything, it's there, but he was brought in to score goals. He's missing chances more than he's scoring, and yet he keeps getting the opportunities to play. So if things do not improve drastically for Thomas Tuchel next season, then you will see some of these issues will start creeping in. But come on, you just know that it was the right decision to give Thomas Tuchel the job. Now he's got a full pre-season. Sure. He can bring in his player, because none of these players that he used to win the Champions League and go to the final of the FA Cup with did he bring. He has not brought anybody. He just worked with what he meant on the ground. So now he has the opportunity of improving on the team. Well, it's good, but sometimes in Chelsea, as we have seen, when you are given a new contract, it could be something that's very difficult to fulfill. But Thomas Tuchel, you just know that he is a top manager. He's one of the best managers in the world. Definitely among the top 5 managers in the world. So any club that has him will want to extend his contract. I thought PSG made a mistake by letting him go, and ultimately, I mean, it proved costly for them because he went on to win the Champions League. So, and that's something that they had wanted to win. He got them to the final last season. So it tells you something about him. With 2 different clubs, he has been to the final. Yeah, with Chelsea, you could argue that, well, he didn't start in the group stages, but probably Chelsea would. If he had been at Chelsea at the beginning of the season, he probably would have qualified from the group anyway. So he got to the round of 16 and see the opponent that he met, Atletico Madrid. He dispatched them easily, comfortably. He met Porto. He won that game. He did the job in the first leg. Second leg, they were beating 1-0 at home, but it didn't really matter. Then he met the most prestigious club in terms of the UEFA Champions League, the Real Madrid, and he was able to beat them 1-1 away, and then at Stamford Bridge he beat them 2-0. Then he met Manchester City. Oh, the pressing from Manchester City will be too much. There is no way they will cope. But he has beaten Pep Guardiola 3 times this season. In about 4 months, he's beaten Pep Guardiola 3 times. So absolutely the right decision to give him a contract extension. But I think he did well by not making it too long. It's just a 3-year contract. So I hope he gets to the 3 years. If he's satisfied and wants to continue, fine. He has said they are going to hunt down Manchester City from the very first match of next season. Well, it's like the hunt has already started and he's doing extremely well. But let us not forget, that's how Jurgen Klopp told us we are going to attack the title. And we saw how they almost attacked it and didn't qualify for the Champions League. So we'll wait to see what Thomas Tuchel will be able to do this season.
All right, from Thomas Tuchel, let's talk about Chelsea legend, somebody who helped them to win the Champions League in 2012. In fact, he scored the equalizing goal as well as the winning spot kick to give them their first title tag. That's Didier Drogba we are talking about, and that he has received an honorary degree in the Ivory Coast for his contribution to football in his own country, as well as helping restore stability in the West African nation. He has been credited with helping bring peace to the Ivory Coast after famously helping enact a ceasefire in 2005 after securing qualification for the World Cup. And for the 43-year-old, he made a desperate plea to the combatants involved in the ugly civil war in the West African nation, inviting cameras into the Elephants dressing room after their crucial win over Sudan to make a passionate speech, leading to a ceasefire after 5 years of war. So I think this is really, really nice to give to Didier Drogba for what he did.
Yeah, that's the least that they can do to him. Look, national awards and everything. The highest civilian award, the highest award that they can give in that country. I think they should be giving it to Didier Drogba. And this is what we say when we talk about the awesome power of sports, the awesome power of football to unite, to unify. Look, Didier Drogba, in that after they won that game, he as he said brought cameras in and knelt down, and Yaya Toure, Kolo Toure, and the other big guys were with him. The moment he knelt down as their captain, they all knelt down, and he told them, look, we are doing this, we are playing, we are winning matches for you, please, we beg you, drop your weapons, let us embrace peace. Which is what I was trying to point out yesterday with what is happening. I mean, we saw the camp of the Super Eagles. Say our young men, you know, from all parts of the country, singing songs. You don't. I'm sure Ahmed Musa and William Troost Ekong and who's the Yoruba guy in that in the team?
Peter Olayinka
and the rest of them. They may not speak Igbo. But when it came to Igbo song, everybody knew how to sing it.
Even if you don't know how to sing
the
it.
Igbo guys may not speak Yoruba, but when it comes to singing victory songs, everybody knows whatever. Everybody can sing that, you know. So that's the kind of thing that Didier Drogba was able to do, to harness the power of football and appeal to the warring factions. There was one match they went to play in Yamoussoukro. Yamoussoukro, the city in Côte d'Ivoire, is a stronghold of the rebels. It's I don't know. It's like I'm just going to make this. Of course, it's not something I wanted, but it's like you were able to play a match in Sambisa Forest.
Wow,
that was how it was. When you have a stronghold of, you know, people who were fighting against the government, then you convince them to drop their arms, and you went to that place to play a match. That was what Didier Drogba was able to do. So, of course, he wasn't alone. He had the other footballers to thank for cooperating with him. So, whatever they give him, I'm even surprised that he's struggling to become the president of the Ivorian Football Federation, and he's not getting it. Politics. It's a different thing. It's a different. If it is by popularity, Austin J.J. Okocha, he was a president of the Delta Football Association. But I know there have been many of them who have tried to get into football administration, and they met brick walls. I recall some years back when we met Victor Ekpeba in the NFF election. That was the one that brought Aminu Megari to power. I recall Austin, Victor Ekpeba saying, man, this thing like you know, so I thought it was easy. So it's not easy to get in. But of course, if you are just talking about popularity, if it is all Nigerians that will vote, and that's how we say it. Look, it's not the NSF election. It's not something that's open to everybody. It's only a few persons. Of course, if it is for all Ivorians to vote about who should be the president of the Ivorian Football Federation, they will very easily give it to Didier Drogba. Sure. But because you have to now deal with those that are administrators, and maybe they don't like his style or whatever, but we had problems. Even his former teammates didn't give him the mandate, you know. So it is sometimes very difficult. But of course, we know what he has done, and I will not be surprised if, like George Oponwea, one day Didier Drogba becomes the president of Côte d'Ivoire.
All right, before we throw the phone lines open, let's talk about this story. It's really, really important because this happened so many years ago, and we know how it went. The Hillsborough disaster. 2 police forces are to pay damages to more than 600 people over a cover-up which followed the Hillsborough disaster. And that is what lawyers have said. The South Yorkshire and West Midlands forces agreed the settlement earlier this year following a civil claim, and nobody has ever been convicted over police actions following that disaster, in which 96 Liverpool fans died in a crush at a 1989 FA Cup semi-final. This was really a huge tragedy, and now we are hearing that 2 police officers had to pay damages to more than 600 people. Come on, I think that was really a serious one. Guys, I know you guys are itching to make your contributions on the show this evening. Reach us on 070-6263-9275 or 09039394427. You can also call us on 081-2178-9154. The SMS line is 080-7400-9076. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Benjamin, great to have you on the show. Good evening.
Brian, good evening.
No.
CJ, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, welcome.
God bless you now. Brian, for the Nigerian match against Cameroon, the return say they don't move across the state.
The one when I check Super Eagles Twitter handle now 7:30 then put there. And also
I hear people the thing as state they call move. I don't call no want to believe now.
They check the handle now still 7:30 I see there. Maybe I don't know.
Can they call to consider that they play the match and make Super Eagles as we talk making a friendly match. Anyhow, we dey try to win Cameroon so that our record against Cameroon will still continue. So Penalty could get the contract. I would say maybe the one when you start to do the team called they do well as before. So anyhow, we need to fortify that team. We need correct striker and one defender so that the team will go to go next season and do well.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Richmond coming from Lagos.
Richmond from Lagos.
Yes, sir.
Wow. You're welcome.
This is my first time caller.
Oh, you're a first time caller. Let's welcome you.
Yeah, but
Let's welcome your first time. Just wait. Yeah.
thank you very much.
You're welcome, family.
Yeah, good evening to the two maestro, right?
Yeah.
CJ Maestro.
Yeah. Okay, welcome you. I want to say good evening to you, sir. Ibrahim, hope I'm correct.
Yeah, you're correct.
Good evening to Ibrahim. I really admire Sapphire Elegance. You are one of the best journalists we have in Nigeria. I'm not mistaken, I'm not wrong about it.
Thank you.
So you make me understand sport. I've been listening to you. I want to say congratulations to Mexico for taking Chelsea to the final and winning. And I'm not a Chelsea fan, I'm a Barcelona fan though. What the man has done a great thing. So the one who can be very another. So I want to say congratulations to them. And I want to say I'm very happy the way I'm seeing my Barcelona signing right now. They are signing players, they transfer, they're not spending money, not like they're spending money buying Coutinho, Dembele and Griezmann. They are crossing lines and not producing results. I'm very happy with that signing players. I wish them good luck in the new season. That's it.
Thank you, Richmond, for reaching us all the way from Lagos. Hello.
Yeah, my children.
Barrister Philip Otobo, good evening, sir.
Oh, how are you? Ibrahim?
Good evening, sir.
I have to thank you for bringing another cruise. Although I've not been able to get his actual name, but you said we should call it CJ.
Yes.
I hope he will not be taken to court because we don't have more than one CJ in the state.
we know if he's taken to court, you will defend him since you are our barrister.
Let hope so. And CJ, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome.
Okay. Hey, what happened now? No.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, so CJ, you are joining my children group now, okay? When you hear my children, you know that he's a good man here that want to talk to you guys. So we are welcome to our radio.
All right, thank you.
God bless you. I don't know if the match of this Super Eagles, you know, normally when they are playing a Nigeria match, you don't know who is to Yoruba, Hausa. We are all Nigerians. I don't know whether they will televise it today and if they will televise it, you know, the people carry arms, but they will get their hands.
We don't know whether they will show it on terrestrial television, but we know how to watch it online, you know. So even the last one that was a competitive game, it wasn't shown. So I don't think that this one will be.
I'm like, yesterday I had talking to you guys. We had an opportunity. We are asking that we should know that football is a very big ball for Nigerians, and we should try as much as possible to give us players work there. And then you see that period, we will get Nigeria up and down. We will very well. All right, so thank you guys.
All right, sir.
I love the program. All right.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
My name is Friday. I'm calling from Rama Park.
Oh, Friday from Rama Park. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Rosa, for you doing the show for a long time. Ibrahim, you are highly welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, my new brother there. She didn't like her call this very well because I have a friend that calls me like that. And what I want to say is congratulations to Mexico because he tried and what he did for Chelsea. But what I'm saying, a little bit is the work of Lampard, but Lampard bought the player, but he's not using it very well. But the time comes for him to buy his work, because you see the same thing happen to them. You enjoy the works of Guardiola and Ancelotti because of the player they bought there. You understand? So they have won this cup the same way he won 2012. But today it's time for him to buy his player, buy, but it's not work for him. You understand? Let us see what is going to happen. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hello. Ooh, let's take this. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Is this Victory?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Since I request to let me congratulate my club Chelsea for winning the Champions League. I've been unable to call up this week. So I will get more Chelsea to come. Congratulations to the coach for the new contract. I really don't know if we do Chelsea to see out this contract. That's what we don't know. Then for the Super Eagles, I wish they would do nice matches. Going to be difficult to be friendly. They shouldn't look at the opponents who are present or not present. They should concentrate on the match in their depth. At least the points they'll be able to get from the match will help them in the FIFA rankings when it comes to the World Cup. You see this for the World Cup. So I really don't know the best. They shouldn't rush the game. They should take it calmly, defend properly, and the police is in front of them. Then I say they'll be able to win those matches. I would like to make any activity to save the match.
We don't know. We don't know. But on cable, I'm sure maybe on cable you can watch it, but on terrestrial we can't tell you that.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, I was and the latest of our sports family. I welcome you specially from GRE. My name is Peter.
Oh, Peter from GRE. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I just actually got to welcome our new member here and to wish our Super Eagles as we stroll past Cameroon tonight. I use that language stroll because tomorrow we'll celebrate that. And lastly, please, there's a guy that promised to come to KUSM. I still want to keep hammering on that.
We have been
so that we should relieve some of your workers at least for that 1 or 2 weeks. So please keep hammering on that guy. Should come. We should call you when you promise. No, that guy should come outside, please. I'm just calling to still remind you to still hammer on that. When the guy comes to pay for us.
It was only making months, yeah, for 1 month. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Oga Maestro.
Yeah, that's Chelsea. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
I tell my Bolivia I did that CJ Maestro. What is your CJ? Maestro, good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
Thank you. Super this evening is very tough match. I said the same more than this year again. 2.7 to 2.17. Just to tell you that the match will be very, very tough. So I wish them all the best, but I'm seeing a draw in that match. What is it? I think
Nigeria fans are with them winning. And as for Thomas Tuchel, I think it's a good one. But I suppose we are maybe like 2 years, not even 3, just 2 years. I think that maybe after 1 year, maybe she may go where the city are out. But I'm saying that all those 3 years, they're going to send another contract. Don't believe me. After that 3 years, Masuku is going to send another contract. He will be the longest coach in Chelsea that I'm seeing. I wish them all the best. The very guy that I want to shoot in, he called yesterday. He didn't mention his name. I tried all of just to get you people just to tell you that.
Oh, I've forgotten his name, honestly.
But I know he didn't mention his name.
In a disguise.
I call up two his voice. I tried to call you today just to tell you that he's the guy that just called immediately. Then my not go through. Thank you.
All right. Hello.
Hello. It's Jose Mourinho.
Oh, Jesse on the line. Let's go.
We are greeting from GRS. I want to thank you guys for everything, for keeping us informed and keeping us occupied. You know, can I say nationwide now? I don't know how far your signals are going nationwide. So thank you very much. That guy that promised to come and play in your office, I think from now on his name should be called Shapoki. Until he comes out, he has to be a man. Just own up and come and do his duty. Even if he will not do it, we are going to forgive him. If he just come out and say, okay, I am no longer Shapoki. I am my real name. So from now on, we should say, where is Shapoki? He just said it just anyway. My apologies to him. I know he's listening. He's calling with different names. We know. We know this thing. That's possible. I want to speak about someone Tuchel. For me, I don't think he will stay long in Chelsea, considering the power of the Wama business. You know, that guy is not as special as anybody. That's supposed to be God's character. But that guy, I don't know, maybe he loses 2 games, he draws 2, lose 1 more, they tell him Abramovich is charged. And you know what that means. Even if you have a 20-year contract, he pays you off. So with the billionaire, nobody is permanent in Chelsea, unfortunately. I'm very happy for him, but like a coach said, that we have seen this before with many great managers. So we shouldn't be... He knows as a German. You know, Germans are very active. They read a lot. You must have read about what happened to Mourinho and Lampard, who is even a British. So that guy has no respect for anyone. He just wants trophies upon trophies upon trophies. But your opponents are not coming to clap for you. And sometimes they're going to beat you. So, I don't know. Nobody's job is, as a coach in Chelsea is safe. So, contract or no contract, I don't see him staying long because of the character of the guy that owns Chelsea. As for the Super Eagles, I don't know. Cameroon, they are bleeding, you know. We beat them the last time. We disgraced them, even in their own ground. The likes of Victor Moses and the rest. So, they want to prove a point. So them it's not a friendly. Cameroon don't know what is friendly. You beat them, or they beat you. So Nigeria team should be ready. They should not take it easy with them. They are very physical side. They want to play every game as if it's a World Cup final. So we should try and be more tactical, and we try to go with a winning mentality, not a draw. So I think Nigeria winning 3-1. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Let's start looking at the messages. I'm sure we're going to be having so many dropping at the moment.
Yeah, quite a bit of them here. Some from yesterday, which we were unable to take. So let's see how many of them we'll be able to take this evening. Trying to refresh the system. Okay, this one says, good evening, men of sports. Please, any transfer news from Arsenal or Sage from Ologo? Nothing concrete. Yet. They are always sent talks, but nothing concrete at the moment. Good evening, guys. Nico, please, will that match be excuse me, sorry. Streamed live up Chelsea. Love you guys. Yeah, they are going to stream it live. You can go to the I think the NFF
TV on YouTube.
Yeah,
you see that hopefully.
Good guys, in football, the rivalry between Super Eagles Indomitable Lions and Super Eagles Black Stars, which is bigger and in comparison to the rivalry of these countries, Egypt versus Algeria versus Morocco, which is most respected. Kachi from PZ. Well, I think if you are looking at the intensity, I think the ones between North Africans is much more intense, you know. But if you are talking about which one is bigger in terms of the pedigree of the nations involved, then you will say Nigeria versus Cameroon or Nigeria versus Ghana. You know, looking at Ghana has won the African Cup of Nations 4 times, albeit the last time they won it was in 1982. Nigeria has won it 3 times. Cameroon has won it 5 times. So you are looking at 2 dominant forces in football. But when you look at Egypt versus Algeria, for instance, Algeria has won the African Cup of Nations twice. The last time was in 2019. They had the defending champion. The first time they won it was in 1990, I told just 90 with Mustafa Bamaja. And Egypt, when you look at that, Egypt has dominated, you know. But when you look at the intensity of that rivalry, because it goes beyond just football. In North Africa, politics is involved, you know, and so many other things. But if you are talking about which is the more prestigious, then I think it will be Nigeria, Ghana, or Nigeria versus Cameroon. Oga Abraham, Thomas Tuchel didn't beat Pep Guardiola 3 times in 4 months, but in 2 months. I think God beg you, MCD. Well, MCD, I was talking about. When was he appointed? Was it not in January? January till May. When that's the time period I'm looking at. I know even if we beat him, even if the 2 matches or the 3 matches were played in a month. If I say he beat him in 4 months, I'm still correct. I'm looking at the time that he joined Chelsea till the last game. Okay, I beg. All right, I accept your correction. It wasn't.
These guys are so funny.
Okay, well, let's see. This one says, "Good evening, KFM crew. I just saw now that Chelsea have extended the contract of Olivier Giroud. Please, I want to know if it is true or not. Wisdom from what? I don't know. I've not heard that. But there were serious talks about him leaving. But maybe if Thomas Tuchel wants him, even Tammy Abraham, that people are saying is on his way out. The manager could decide, okay, let's give him 1 more chance. Let's have a preseason and all that. And now we can see that with the strikers, you don't know. We're hearing Lukaku is not going to leave Inter. Erling Braut Haaland is not going to leave Borussia Dortmund. Maybe Harry Kane might not even leave Tottenham Hotspur. Maybe, you don't know. So we've got to see what happens next season. Good evening, presenters. My name is Samuel from Benin. Okay. This is for Esther. This is not for us. This is not the hookup show. I was wondering, what has your age got to do with your text message on sports? This one says, "Good evening, sports crew. My name is Mutex from Uwedu. Oga Ibrahim, do you think Ole is a good manager?" Yeah, I think he's a good manager, a fantastic manager. Maybe not among the very top in world football, but he's a decent manager. Good PM man of sports. I want to know Manchester United transfer update on Sancho and Varane. Sami from Adora. I think part of Sancho is looking the more likely. They say they are in talks. Even Mr. Here we go, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that they are in talks, but nothing is guaranteed just yet. Good evening, Sports Babas. Please, when is Nigeria playing their match today? Kelvin from Izakagbo. That match is 7:30, but I don't know. It's 7:30 that we're getting from the official handle of the Super Eagles. Yes, it's 7:30. Okay. Good PM Sports Crew. I don't know why OGS made Sancho his #1 target. He should get a good centre back first because we are weak at the back line. DK Prince from Upper Sac Bomba. All right. Hello, Good evening, sportsmen. I just want to congratulate DJ Drogba for the honorable award he was able to attain right there in Côte d'Ivoire. Okay, Ivory Coast. It was a massive one for him. Also, congratulations to Thomas Tuchel for signing a new 3-year contract with Chelsea. I just hope he gets to see out his contract at Chelsea, especially considering their pedagogy. Please, sir, when are Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic playing their next round of games in the French Open? Thanks. Hassan texting from University of Benin. That should be tomorrow. Yeah. I hope Serena Williams keeps calm. She might get the job done this time. So the world fit hereward. Ernest from Sapele. She won the first set. I think they were playing the second set when we started. I don't know. We'll try and keep you up to speed with that result. Good day, Alex. By name. Okay, we are not that station, so I don't know. I cannot tell you whether they will be showing it. Good evening, sports presenters. Hearing the jubilation and fun saturated with unity in the Super Eagles camp brought me to tears. Nigerian youths are the brightness and life of Nigeria. Sports platform should never be underrated. Levy. Yeah, we hope that the leaders would realize this. Good day, guys. Arsenal won their last 5. Okay, but I think we'll take this one in the morning. Good evening, sportsmen. Man U identify 4 orders to buy every season. Any good news about buys by Man United? Dr. Kelvin.
Okay, just one more.
If Raw cannot win the next Nations Cup with this, our players flying in Europe, then he should be sacked. I wish them the best tonight, from Godwin Ibohan.
All right, so that's the much you can take. But for Serena Williams, she has won a game against Daniel Collins 6-4, 6-4. It was in straight sets that she progressed. Many thanks to you guys for being part of the show. My name is Ewusa Agbeka, the sports maestro. I'll be doing this with Salih Ibrahim, the Bracadabra Sports, and CJ the Maestro. Tomorrow at 3:30, we'll be here to give you a 3-hour show tomorrow. So get ready, and we'll be here to make you happy. And I hope that tomorrow when we come, wow, we'll celebrate that the Eagles have flown past the Cameroonians. So see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Until then, have a lovely weekend ahead, and bye-bye.
Mr. Chairman, sir, beautiful advertisement.
Thank you.
But was he approved by APCON before exposure?
APCON?
APCON is the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, the federal government advertising regulatory authority that vets and approves all adverts before they are exposed on radio, TV, billboard, any medium.
You mean it's the law?
Yes, sir. APCON is backed up by the law to vet all adverts to ensure they are not in bad taste. And there's a big penalty for non-compliance.
Call me our consultant now.
Get your advertisements vetted and approved by APCON before exposure. Call 0909 144 27